So, a question is, you know, the president before the last. So you know why I did this? That's an O. Is that president, that past president, really running the country? Is this his third term in disguise? So, before I start, thank you for joining the video. I appreciate you checking me out. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Subscribe, like, and comment. So the reason why I can't say the full name, because YouTube algorithms, the YouTube police will shadow ban or even completely ban me. So here's my thesis. This is just a theory. This speculation, but you gotta wonder. First of all, did you know when I do this, when I do this, that's who I'm talking about. Did you know set up residence about 1 or 2 blocks from the White House? He actually has a home there. Most presidents, they'll normally do that, the temporary home, and once they are no longer president, they go to Martha's Vineyard or wherever they go to live permanently. This guy, to this day, although he does have other residents, this is one of his primary residents. 2 blocks, about a block, 2 blocks, all right, maybe even 3 blocks in a brownstone. Those of you guys who grew up in the inner city know what a brownstone is. In a fancy brownstone, expensive area. So he to this day, he still lives there. I mean, again, his family, and they got places in Martha's Vineyard. I'm not denying that, but he also has this place just a few blocks away from the Capitol. So that I find odd. Okay, because let's face it, if anybody has ever been to Washington, D.C., it's not the nicest place to live. I mean, you might be in your own bubble within your rich community, or, you know, but even in there, you know, it's, you don't want to really live there permanently. So I find that suspicious. Okay, so, the current president, we'll just call him Old Man. One of the very first things he does when he gets into office was totally screw up the oil embargoes. He eliminated a lot of the oil embargoes. He cut off the pipeline. He did a lot of things to where we weren't as oil independent. I'm going to say that, independent. And what he did is he cut that off for America, transferring all sales, all future purchases to the Middle East. Almost all, but I would say 95% of all our oil now is coming from our enemies. Most of it is the Middle East, and a lot of it is and some of it is from Russia. And that's kind of odd. Why would you do that? I think some of it even might be coming from China, believe it or not. But regardless, why would you put your enemies in a position of power where they can accumulate, I need my first cup of coffee, lots of money? Very suspicious, very suspicious. And why do I bring this suspicious act up? Well, if you remember, had his birth certificate on the internet when our last president, we'll just call him the Orange Man, was in office. And the Orange Man posted his birth certificate, not plural, and he had experts take a look at it. For those photographers or people who've ever put out a video on Instagram or Facebook, you'll know what layering is, even though you might not know the term. Layering is when you have, we'll say, a photograph, and then while you're editing the photo, you actually put some text on top of it. Like, happy birthday, Mom, as you have a photo or a video of her cutting the cake. and there'll be you can actually put text or even a picture, an emoji or whatever on top of the picture. That is called a layer. And you could do multiple layerings too. That is called a layer. So when had his birth certificate put on the internet, Trump sent that birth certificate off. It was a raw file. Those people who know what a raw file is, it's the original file. You can have a original JPEG file, yes, but he sent the original file to get analyzed. And what they found was a shitload of layering. You basically had one photo and a bunch of layers, a bunch of text and emblems and government stamps and everything on top of this layer, this bottom layer, the original photo. One of them was place of birth. So there was a lot of speculation, really, whether that birth certificate was real, and a lot of speculation if wasn't really from the Middle East. That was shut down really quick by our news media outlets. You can type in Google to this day birth certificate, and you'll find the news articles pertaining to what I'm talking about, or vlogs or whatever pertaining to what I'm talking about. I don't think you'll be able to find the original file, because once you take a photo of the entire file with all its layerings, it becomes a new original file. You don't see layers. Very much if I copied a photo off of Facebook of my mom cutting her birthday cake with the words, "Happy birthday, Mom." If I downloaded that and then put it into my video editing software, I wouldn't see any layers anymore, because that is... Anyway, you get my point. So there's a lot of speculation if he really is from America, although his certificate says Hawaii. Just saying. So is he really running a third term? And now, miraculously, they have enough money to start their wars again. They were financially crushed before this old man came into the office. Now they have enough money. And we keep giving them more and more money. $6 billion for 10 hostages? That's a little crazy. And now we're thinking about giving them $100 billion? And everybody says, well, they have a right to fight. You know, the Israelites, you know, they're just oppressors, and then the Hamas, you know, they're just oppressed. And no. They're not the evil ones. It's Israel. Let me tell you something. Let's think about laws of averages, whatever you want to call it, the common variable. What is the common variable here? Do you ever hear of bombings, suicide bombings in every country around this world from Israel? But they're the evil ones. No, it is these type of people, the Hamas type of people. I'm not going to just say Hamas, because it's all kinds of sectors. Is that the proper word? Sectors, sects, not sex, but sects. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. Regions. People from all the regions in the Middle East raise their kids to be suicide bombers. And, you know, that's the common denominator here. You never hear Israelites going around the world blowing up shit, blowing up buildings, you know, Ali Akbar. You never hear that shit from an Israelite. You never see it. It doesn't happen. So what is the common denominator here, folks? I'm just really wondering why we're giving so much money to them, and I'm going to end this video. Wondering why we're giving so much money to them in the form of, you know, aid, buying hostages back. By the way, you buy one hostage back, you done started a business. Now there's a business of just kidnapping people and selling them back. You've put value on them, a monetary value on people, they're going to start kidnapping them. Whereas if you insist you're not going to buy hostages, they won't be kidnapped. They'd be worthless. Anyway, I gotta run. I'm really starting to think, because a lot of the stuff that not just is happening in the Middle East, but within Washington, it's geared to his regime when he was in. I mean, pretty much everybody that was working for is working there now also. Did you know that? I'll say that again. Everybody, almost everybody that was working for is working there now. Very odd. And it just, I'm wondering if this is his third, I'm wondering if this is really his third presidency. You gotta wonder. And maybe they're using Joe's illegal dealings around the world to make money as a way of controlling him and just keeping his mouth shut. I mean, half the time he's on vacation, sitting on a beach somewhere. You know, just food for thought. I'm not saying this is real, but there is a high probability there's something's going on. I don't believe this man is really running the presidency. I don't believe he's really running our country. I really do not believe it. Somebody else is. And let me take a look at him. Anyway, gotta run. I'm heading to work. It's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. I need a cup of coffee. I'm tired. I need a cup of coffee. Take care.